remember the day they laughed the loudest, like a chorus of contempt ringing in my ears. I was standing in the middle of our cramped living room, clutching my sketch pad like a lifeline, my dreams trembling on the verge of shattering. My family, my parents, my siblings, they looked at me as if I were a clown, a fool wasting his life on foolishness. They called it ridiculous, embarrassing, a waste of time, and I felt the weight of their scorn settle deep into my bones. They didn't see the fire burning inside me. They saw a boy chasing a fantasy, an impossible dream, but I refused to let their words define me. I made a decision that day. I would prove them wrong. I would become a painter. Not just any painter, but one who would make a mark, who would turn their ridicule into silence. I left that house with nothing but a battered backpack, a head full of visions, and a heart fueled by fury. I was mocked in every step by strangers, by critics, by my own doubts. I scraped together every penny I could earn, working dead-end jobs, sleeping on friends' couches, living on ramen and hope. I painted nights when I should have been resting, pouring every ounce of my soul into every stroke. My art was raw, imperfect, but it was mine. I refused to give up. Years blurred into relentless pursuit. I faced rejection after rejection, galleries turning me down, critics dismissing my work, my own hands trembling with doubt. But I kept going. Every no became fuel, every failure a lesson. I studied, I practiced, I bled onto every canvas. Slowly, my name started to surface in underground circles. My art caught fire online. I was no longer that boy in the shadows. I was a painter. The day I finally made it, real recognition, a gallery showing, the sold-out exhibit, was the day I knew I had won more than fame. I had won their silence. I had proved that their ridicule was just noise, that my dreams weren't ridiculous, but necessary. I was no longer a joke. I was a creator. And then, after years of relentless struggle, I returned home. The house was the same, but everything felt different. The same cracked porch, the same old furniture, but I was no longer that insecure boy begging for acceptance. I was a man who had bled for his dreams and emerged victorious. I walked in, my head high, my portfolio under my arm, ready to face their judgment. My family was gathered in the living room, eyes wide with curiosity and a flicker of skepticism. My father, stern and proud, looked me over like I was a stranger until he saw the gallery-quality paintings I carried. My mother's eyes welled with tears, but I saw the doubt lurking beneath. I made it, I said simply, voice steady. All those years of pain, rejection, loneliness, everything I endured was for this moment. They looked at my work, the paintings that I'd poured my soul into, vivid landscapes, haunting portraits, abstract explosions of color, became their silent witnesses. The room fell into stunned silence. Then, my father spoke, voice thick with emotion. I didn't understand. I thought you were wasting your life. But you proved me wrong. You proved everyone wrong. My mother reached out, trembling, and touched one of my paintings. It's beautiful, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. In that quiet moment, I realized something profound. All the mocking, all the rejection, they had only fueled my fire. Their doubts had pushed me into the darkness, but I had found my own light. I had turned their contempt into my strength. I stepped closer, looking into their eyes, feeling the weight of years of pain and hope. I didn't become a painter to embarrass you, I said softly. I did it because I had to, because I couldn't live any other way. And now I stand here successful, proud, and I want you to see what's possible when you refuse to give up. The silence stretched, thick and heavy, before my father finally nodded. My mother's tears turned into a trembling smile. In that moment, I saw the acknowledgement I'd craved all my life, not just in their eyes, but in my own. I turned away from the crowd and looked out the window at the sunset, the sky ablaze with colors I had poured into my paintings. I had come home. Not just as a victorious artist, but as a man who had faced his demons, who had fought every doubt and emerged stronger. Their judgment no longer mattered. What mattered was this. I had proven that dreams, no matter how ridiculous, are worth fighting for. That sometimes the greatest betrayal is the silence of those who refuse to see your worth. But in the end,